Hi everyone, good evening. So on behalf of Enoviz Private Limited, we wish you a good evening ahead. How safe are you? How safe do you think you are? Well, we kind of strive to make ourselves and also the people around us and also the environment very, very safe. That's why we have a kind of parapet wall or maybe a link fence, and which some people have CCTV cameras to monitor what's happening in places that you cannot observe. And doing all that, security guards, all that, it could be your home, it could be your office, it could be wherever. So with all these things installed in place, you feel that you're very, very safe. And then you're maybe in your office or your living room, then you have your notebook or your desktop computer, and you have all your data in that, and so you feel very, very safe. And well, you feel that no one can touch you. And but the danger is that you have all those information in your notebook or your computer, and sometimes we do not realize that there are many people, maybe not in Sri Lanka, but far, far away in another country, who is looking at what you're doing, and he or she is kind of trying to access your data, maybe just for fun, just for kicks, or sometimes maybe trying to access your bank accounts, and that is not for kicks, but that is to get something of you, and that's the easy way out. But it's not easy, because these guys are very brainy people, not dumb guys, and that's how they can do all that in the midst of you making yourself very, very safe. So this has become very, very evident, because the use of ICT or the promotion of ICT, it has become very, very prominent, not only in Sri Lanka but throughout the world, and safety is very, very important. And talking of safety, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on to the launch of something very, very special, a great tool that will keep you, your data, your systems very, very secure. And for the moment, just let me tell you, it's G-Data. And as we move along, we'll find out what G-Data is, where it is made, who made it, and how old G-Data is, and why G-Data, why we are talking about G-Data, and why we should go for G-Data. So all that will be discussed by people who are well versed in the topic. And also, dear friends and colleagues of the media, you will have the opportunity of asking any related question as well to clarify matters, because you are the people who will convey this good message to the general public. After all, the benefactors of this product will be the general public of Sri Lanka. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start this evening with a piece of entertainment. So we have the Santal drumming ensemble to entertain you. So maybe you can put your hands together and welcome our drummers to open this evening's program. That was Santa. Thank you very much, and they'll be back with more drumming items as we go along. The G-Data launch by Enoviz Private Limited, and we would like to now invite to welcome you officially to this launch. We'd like to invite the Director's Finance of Enoviz Private Limited. We'd like to very warmly invite Mrs. Rukshani Rajapaksa to welcome you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to warmly welcome each and every one of you gathered here today to the official launch of G-Data in Sri Lanka. Enoviz is a team of innovative solution providers providing end-to-end ICT solutions to small and medium enterprises as well as end consumers, ranging from software development, cloud solutions, hardware, networking, security consultation, and web development. G-Data is a new expansion to our portfolio. Enoviz is a subsidiary of Unipower Group of companies. It is indeed a strength to be backed by a strong and well-established 25-year-old mother company in the agribusiness and the pioneers in scientific agriculture. In an effort to diversify to a field of great potential and growth, we have identified the constant hunger for great solutions to make doing business much easier. Established in 2012 by the Managing Director Anuradha Rajapaksa, with a vision to make technology more approachable, we strive to be a trusted solution provider in both the local and global market in 2014. In an era where the need for an effective information security solution is at an all-time high, we see a time no better than now to unveil the world's first ever and most robust information security system in Sri Lanka. As a growing enterprise, we are truly proud of being appointed as a sole distributor for Sri Lanka and the Maldives, and to be able to work alongside G-Data Germany, who are the pioneers in the field of information security for the last 25 years. We strongly believe success is based on the strong relationships we have built with our partner, providing us the best of products and services coupled with their expertise. We appreciate you being with us today to make this collaboration more meaningful and hope that this evening will transform into a successful synergy to serve you and our end consumer with our best. Enjoy and thank you very much.
Director of Finance of Enoviz Private Limited, Mrs. Rukshani Rajapaksa. Thank you very much. Warm words of welcome. And also, in a nutshell, giving you a glimpse of Enoviz Private Limited as well. And now we are moving on to the real topic of G-Data and what it is, why G-Data and why it should be used, what are the advantages, because we are now moving on to the keynote address. And to do the keynote address, we would like to very warmly invite the Managing Director of Enoviz Private Limited, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Anuradha Rajapaksa.
Good evening to all the distinguished invitees, all the heads of IT, CTOs, CIOs and IT managers of prestigious companies, and business partners, distributors, dealers, media representatives, and members of Unipower Group and fellow members of Enoviz. I would like to welcome you all to the official launch of G-Data. I'm excited to be a part of the initiation to launch G-Data to Sri Lanka. And I'm glad to have you all with us today to witness this great event. I believe that you may have been to similar product launches before, but why is this significant? To tell you why, let me take you on a trip down the memory lane. So if we go back to the origins of the problem that we are trying to solve, in 1971, a person named Bob Thomas created the first self-replicating software as a demonstration to show the capability of a self-replicating application. This was called the Creeper, and funny enough, to remove the Creeper, they had to create the Reaper. And in 1974, someone came up with a virus called the rabbit. The name rabbit originates from its nature of behavior, that the rabbit replicates at such a rapid pace that it ultimately clogs down the system resource and crashes the computer. And then in 1982, Elk the cloner was developed for Apple systems. The virus was found in Apple II. And in 1983, as these viruses were getting more and more common, the term virus was defined. And in 1984, the backdoor exploitation was experimented. In 1986, this was a significant virus where the virus was called the Brain, the first boot sector virus and the first IBM PC based virus that was found. So the numbers kept rising as time moved on, and with the numbers rising, they couldn't keep up with writing individual tools to remove individual viruses. So in 1987, G-Data came up with the world's first commercial antivirus software. So which is one of the reasons why we are excited to introduce this product, because it's a historic product that we are launching here today. So as time moved on and technology improved, the viruses were more and more available, and the more sophisticated they got. As you can see, in the earlier stages, the viruses were more, the spreading of the viruses were more stable, it was under control. But if you can see, from a certain point, it rises rapidly. So we identify this era as the internet age. So if you look at the statistics, if you look at from 2010 and 2011, the numbers are almost the same, but we can see the numbers get more dangerous from 2012 to 2013, that the numbers are doubled or even more. So if we look at the statistics a bit closer, in the recent past year, there were 2.6 million new viruses that were discovered. This is roughly about 7,000 new malwares a day. So you may ask, why in this internet age, why does this happen and how? So to answer why, we have identified a few factors. In the earlier stages, people made viruses because of reasons such as for vandalism. Just like people do general vandalism, they perform vandalism on the cyber arena. And some did it just to prove a point, because they knew how to do it. But I believe in the internet age, it was for monetary gains. it was for criminal acts. And some did it to camouflage their crime network by hijacking other computer resources to run their ring of crime. And some did it to steal information, whether it be stealing credit card information or stealing company information, or a government stealing another government's information to use as to threat for to blackmail or just to steal money or for sheer competition. So how has this got so widespread? As we saw before, the internet age is, as we saw, we can single-handedly rule out the internet as the biggest factor to spread the numbers of malware. And then, as the consumer electronics were getting more and more cheap and more affordable, people were using more and more mobile phones and MP3 players, and then things like USB sticks or external hard drives or memory cards were widely available. Everyone uses these devices. So the viruses had more chance to spread. And also, the day-to-day softwares that we use have what we call loopholes, which give backdoor access to the operating system to exploit. So just for everyone's, I know this is a very technical set of details, but just for everyone's awareness, I would like to list out the types of malware that are being found. You get, of course, what we call virus, which corrupt our files, our boot sector of the hard drive, our maybe our browser. What they do is they multiply and they corrupt your files. But then you get more advanced type of malwares like what we call rootkits, which are designed for a specific task, and they are much more advanced than viruses. So are worms. Unlike viruses, they don't multiply, but they spread through a network to hijack network resource to use your resources as to run their cyber crimes. And similarly, you get backdoors, exploits and trojans, which are all in the similar nature. And then you get another type of malwares, which are called which are found in the recent age, spywares, adwares, phishing, and spam. These all fall under what we call scamware. Unlike viruses or the other types, they use the human weaknesses rather than technological advancement to spread. For example, you might have seen banner advertisements on websites saying earn free money on the internet, or download free wallpapers, or download free ringtones. So this tag free always comes with something attached to it. So the types of malware that I described are shown here in the graph according to their popularity. As you can see, Trojans are higher in density in the circulation. The ironic side to this situation is that the damage that it causes to us. It has been researched and found that 388 billion US dollars a year has been stolen or wasted for malware a year. This cybercrime is only seconded by the world's illegal drug trade, which is estimated at around 500 billion US dollars. So eventually, as you saw in the other graph, eventually cybercrime will exceed the world's illegal drug trade. And also also another example of this, the intensity of this damage is, if you can remember in 2011, the Japan tsunami, it cost Japan about 225 billion to recover. But there is a bigger tsunami happening every year behind our knowing. So this is something that we need to pay attention to. So it's not just cyber criminals that exploit us. So let me tell you, I'm pretty sure there are media representatives here. I'm pretty sure most of you might have heard the NSA breakout last year. So if just to give you an idea, NSA is the National Security Agency of the United States, who are affiliated with the CIA. And last year in June, Mr. Edward Snowden, the famous whistleblower of the CIA, released documents related to how the US government is spying on US citizens, not just US citizens, citizens all over the world. It includes you. So this is something from this slide is very interesting. This slide belongs to the NSA. This was published by the Washington Post. This shows what they use to steal your information, how they do it. They use your internet service provider, your cable or your ADSL provider, to steal your data. Plus, they use services like Microsoft, Yahoo, Google, Facebook, Paltalk, AOL, Skype, YouTube, and Apple, etc. Services that we use on a day-to-day basis in this day and age. This is another slide that was published on The Guardian, which shows a similar story where they used the HTTP protocol to steal data from Facebook, the services that I have mentioned before. So the NSA, the National Security Agency of the United States, collects data from the average internet user using most web-based services like I mentioned before, Facebook, Google, Yahoo, etc. And other software vendors from the US. So they place a legal, what we call a front and a back door to access our information. And these are, I can with confidence tell you, constituted mechanisms to extract yours and mine private data. And unfortunately, this list includes the most popular US-based antivirus companies. With that, I would like to point out that G-Data, being a 100% German company, do not comply with CIA or NSA or any US-based secret agency, and they released this statement in 2011, way before Mr. Snowden released his documents last year. So as we are heavily bound by these online services, the more and more we use, the more and more vulnerable we are. But as average citizens like you and me, we don't realize this until someone tells us. So we need to be protected. We need to be protected, and there is a criteria to do that. So what do we need to do in order to be protected? We need an effective method of protection against malware. We need website ranking that helps people like you and me to identify which sites are good and which sites are infectious. And we need some control over the types of mobile devices or the portable devices we use. And we need to update the security holes, the security loopholes, so that the cyber criminals won't exploit our system resources. So G-Data covers all this. I believe that just an antivirus solution would not suffice to secure us with these threats that we were talking about. So that, which is why we are not going to launch the G-Data antivirus product. We will be launching only products higher than an antivirus product. So today we'll be launching the internet security and the enterprise software. Just to brief you on the features that are in the internet security, it comes with a unique technology called close gap technology, an auto start manager, a beautiful, easy to use, intuitive user interface, and another unique feature to G-Data is the bank guard, which gives you the ability to do secured online banking transactions and instant protection from emailing, behavior monitoring, hourly updates, protection against hacking from the use of a firewall, and of course anti-spam against adware, and parental controls to protect your children. So how does G-Data stack up against its competition? So let me show you. First of all, G-Data is ranked among the top 5 security software vendors, and a virus guard needs to be updated constantly with, as I said before, if there are 7,000 malwares, new malwares a day, so the virus, the security software needs to be updated constantly, and G-Data guarantees hourly updates. So if you can see in the graph, the topmost security software is G-Data, which is the most updated security software among all the others. And let me explain these two graphs. These tests were done by an independent party called the AV test. In the left hand side you see file detection test, files with viruses, and from the detection G-Data scores number 1. On the right hand side you see real world protection tests, and G-Data scores the 3rd position. These are not slides that we add. You can go to avtest.org and check for yourself. And of course, no other security software has won as many awards as G-Data, especially them being the pioneers of the industry. PC World ranked G-Data Internet Security as the number 1 internet security software that's available in the market. And G-Data is unique. Them being the pioneers, their research and development is ahead of their competition. So they have technology that is unique to them. So one of the best technologies that keep them separated from, keep them distinguished from the competition is that they use they use 2 scan engines to make sure that no malware escapes. One of the scan engines I would like to disclose is Bitdefender's scan engine, because Bitdefender and G-Data works together as partners. And the other engine is the close gap engine. And like I mentioned before, BankGuard is a unique technology that G-Data introduced that protects you from online banking related malware. And this technology is embedded in all G-Data products, But however, this product can be purchased separately so that it can be used with it is compatible with third-party security softwares. So when we hear about the term made in Germany, we know in our minds that it is guaranteed to be a product of good quality. For example, Mercedes-Benz, and there is a whole big list. Most of the US-based security softwares, or any software vendor for that matter, they do not solely produce the software within US. They outsource it to countries like India. So the software, the QA, quality assurance is done elsewhere. But G-Data is made 100% within Germany itself. So if you look at the portfolio of products, G-Data offers solutions to starting from consumers to large enterprises. So if you look at what we have for the consumers, they have of course the G-Data antivirus, and then G-Data Internet Security, which we are launching today, and G-Data Total Protection, which we are hoping to launch in the near future. For the enterprises, G-Data offers a vast variety of enterprise solutions, starting from G-Data Mail Security, which you can use as a standalone mail protection system, and G-Data Antivirus for business. Also, G-Data Client Security, and the highest, the best product of the range being G-Data Endpoint Protection for enterprises. So let me briefly tell you about the product that we are launching today for enterprises. The endpoint protection for enterprises include the antivirus, the firewall, anti-spam, policy managers to control the behavior of your organization, of each individual department, bank guard, which is again unique to G-Data, report manager, which you can take reports of either individual workstations or departments, etc. And mobile devices are included in the enterprise licenses, mail security, and backup. Usually you have to, with other security softwares, you have to purchase a backup system separate. And another unique feature to G-Data Enterprise software is that they have a built-in patch management system. A patch management system is what I described before, where the softwares, the day-to-day softwares that we use have loopholes which needs to be updated with security updates. So G-Data Enterprise does it for you. When we are choosing an enterprise security solution, there are a few things that we need to, few questions that we need to ask ourselves. Is it easy to install, and does it cost a lot for training? G-Data Business Solution provides an easy to use, step-by-step wizard, a setup wizard, and also we have a easy to use configuration system, but however Enoviz and G-Data provides you of the know-how and the support, and you do not at any point have to pay for major upgrades within the license period. Also, another unique feature to the licensing system in G-Data Enterprise is that if you take the others, the competitors, they offer the solution where you have to buy license for servers separate and for workstations separate. But in G-Data we offer license for all devices. So the license includes servers, mobile devices, workstations, etc. And another advantage is that if you're buying it from a different vendor, you are fixed at the time of the purchase of the license. You are tied up with the number of license that you buy. Whereas with G data, you can increase the amount of licenses at any given point. So G data is not just another security software. Even though there are so many of competitors in the field, it's not just another security software. Like I said, they are the pioneers of the industry. They created the industry and they made a way for the others to follow. So as pioneers, they have been constantly innovating new technology. So in 1987, like I said, they introduced the first commercial antivirus software. And in 1990, they introduced the first antivirus with a graphical user interface. In 1995, the first antivirus with hardware protection was introduced by G data themselves. And in 1999, no one else had a protection system for Linux. G data came up with a boot scan for Linux. And in 2005, now the term cloud is being used a lot. It's a popular word, but in 2005, the term cloud computing was not that popular. But G data was the first to have a cloud security system. And in 2007, a unique technology to G data, the first silent firewall, was introduced. And in 2008, the first, again another unique feature to G data, what we call fingerprinting technology, which saves you a lot of system resource. Like, for example, some of us have experience when we install antivirus softwares or security softwares, our operating system gets slowed down. But with fingerprinting technology, the system resource utilization is reduced drastically. In 2011, again, G data was the first to introduce an AV antivirus app for smartphones, mobiles and tablets. In 2012, the first real protection for online banking, the BankGuard technology, which I explained before. So some general facts about G data. G data software in Germany. They were founded in 1985 in Germany. A stock corporation company, non-public, with 300 employees worldwide. Having operating offices in 11 countries and sales partners in more than 90 countries, and now with Sri Lanka and Maldives, working with Enoviz. So as Enoviz is expanding its portfolio, we choose to work with the right partners. And we work with nothing but the best. Our mother company, like Rukshani explained before, is a 25-year-old company, a well-established company, and the pioneers in the scientific agriculture and horticulture in Sri Lanka. So G data is also a 25-year-old company, pioneers in the field of information security. And they are not only the pioneers, they are ahead of their competition with much advanced technology. So we as Enoviz are proud to be the sole distributors of for Sri Lanka and Maldives, and we are hoping to do our best. So we are expecting to build good relationships with you all in the future to establish this prestigious brand in Sri Lanka. So thank you all for your time, and I wish you a pleasant evening. Thank you.
A very comprehensive description and story about G data, and looks like Sri Lanka has been missing quite a lot in terms of information security, because going by what Mr. Anurag Rajapaksa just mentioned, with G data not being present in Sri Lanka, we have in fact had a huge void in terms of information security. But thanks to Enoviz, from today we'll be having G Data in Sri Lanka and also in the Maldives, because Enoviz, as was mentioned, is going to be the official distributor for G Data in Sri Lanka and the Maldives. So thanks going out to our keynote speaker, the Managing Director of Enoviz, Mr. Anuradha Rajpaksa. Right, so this evening, or this event definitely needs celebration, because we have to celebrate because we have a great product, pioneers in information security, and also a product that has brought in many firsts, as you saw in the presentation. So G Data now in Sri Lanka, and let's celebrate. Let's continue to celebrate, because once again we would like to invite our drummers, Santa, to entertain you. Rosenthal, thank you very much. And with those vibes of percussion, we are moving on to a very special message. Now, when an international product is launched in a particular country, we need official endorsement by the parent company or the principal to authorize whatever company that is responsible for the distribution of that product to officially handle the product and also officially distribute that product in a particular country. So this is where we see the official announcement by G-Data themselves, the principals or the parent company, officially endorsing the fact that Enoviz Private Limited will be the sole representative and the sole agent and the distributor for G-Data in Sri Lanka and also the Maldives. So we have a video message. In a moment we'll be having a video message, and that is being made by the international sales representative for G-Data, and that's Bjorn Bakioki. So enjoy this message from the principals.
Hi everyone. Hello and a warm welcome from Germany to Sri Lanka. My name is Bjorn Bakioki and I'm the responsible sales manager for Southeast Asia. I am very pleased to address a few words to you before our products are officially launched. First of all, thank you very much for attending the event, and also many thanks for organizing it to Mr. Rajapaksa from Enoviz, our new and exclusive distributor for Sri Lanka and the Maldives. Well, you may ask yourself why there should be another brand in the market, as there are already many others. But if you have a look at the current discussion around private data protection or company data protection, it reminds us that one should have a close look to the country used or plan to use IT security software. The discussion around it creates new perspectives that go beyond features, look and feel, and even price. And it opens a new perception of how to sell security software and the arguments to use. Thus, a way to enter even a maybe saturated market. Selling the software and growing the business remain, from the reseller's point of view, the most important ones. We, Enoviz and G-Data, will do much more than the necessary to support you the best we can. From our experience and excellent support will help you to be acknowledged as a competent business partner by your customers, and it will help to establish a good and long-lasting customer relation. Reseller and customer will profit. G-Data is a provider of security solutions, offers scalable and easy-to-use products for the consumer and for corporates. To have an idea of our philosophy in regards to our corporate solutions, please have a look at the following video.
My customers often ask me what it's like to administer 314 workstations that are located all over the country. Most people think that I spend most of my time on the road or on a plane. Well, I used to. My family rarely saw me. But since I've started using the G-Data corporate solutions, I can easily access my customers' PCs from my own desk and from one single interface. With G-Data's corporate solution, my customers can even integrate their tablets and smartphones into their networks. They can work from anywhere and don't need to worry about security. And even if there is a problem, I can help my customers directly via my smartphone. Hello?
Daddy, have you got my blue hat?
I do, sweetie.
Are you coming home?
Yep, I am.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. For me, as an IT service provider, G-Data corporate solutions are just perfect.
So, why should you choose G-Data? First, our products are customer-friendly. Our GUI is easy to use and does not need a time-consuming training period to start. In case you need support, we are available. In the very near future, a 24/7 support is available for your help. Second, we provide high-quality products. The claim "security made in Germany" is not only a claim. We provide high-quality products fully made in Germany. G-Data is a German-based company. Development, research and quality assurance are located in Germany. Thus, we have to follow the German data protection law, which is one of the strictest in the world. With the disclosure of the NSA practices, we already feel a big demand for German security solutions in the German-speaking countries, and of course in other countries as well. As a result, no other European security software provider has won national and international tests and awards more frequently than us. The following video nicely points out the strong points of our products.
G-Data, award-winning quality, made in Germany. Permanent malware detection rates of over 99%. That is unparalleled throughout the world. Top protection in the background. You work, we protect. In the office and on the go. Maximum security. Extremely easy to use. G-Data.
Third and last, we are experienced and highly skilled. We've been in the market for 25 years now, and we are a pioneer in the field of virus protection. For example, we developed the first commercial AV product for Atari ST back in 1987. Over 99% provable detection rate is the result of our double scan engine approach. Two engines are simply able to detect more malware than one engine only. This is our base of success and the most distinguishing feature. As 30% of our workforce is dealing with development and research, it is logical that new technologies are continuously developed and introduced. The latest closed-gap technology proves it. With our new closed-gap technology, we have found a way to reduce the system load significantly without losing the high detection rate. Closed-gap works as a highly complementary but independent engine with many powerful tools like bankguard or behavior blocking or cloud technologies. All this helps us to keep up the excellent detection rate based on our double scan engine approach. A modest system load for consumer solutions and our business solutions is the result. If you ask me why to choose G-Data, I would answer because your data is safe. We do not work together with the NSA, the CIA or any other secret services or investigating authorities. G-Data security software does not contain any backdoors for state agencies or organizations. We already issued a clear statement on this back in 2011. We feel that we are ready to expand in high potential markets like Sri Lanka, and we are really looking forward to the competition. Excellent quality of products, support and data protection will be the main keys to be successful in the market. The tools are set and we invite you to accept the challenge. Thank you very much for your attention and enjoy the event.
Message via video, that was Mr. Beyond Bakioki, the international sales representative for G-Data for the Southeast Asian region. So with that official endorsement by the principals, we are now moving on to the ceremonial part of officially launching G-Data in Sri Lanka and also the Maldives. So ladies and gentlemen, in a moment, well, if you have your cameras with you, get it up and going and fine-tuned, because this is going to be the camera opportunity or the photo opportunity for you. And yes, we have something special being brought on stage, and that is in fact a dummy of a G-Data pack. And to do the unveiling, to signify the official launch of G-Data in Sri Lanka, we would like to very warmly invite two people. Now, one gentleman, as was mentioned in the presentations, you know that G-Data is 25 years old, and here's a company which has grown to a huge conglomerate, and that company also celebrates its 25th anniversary. I'm talking of the Unipower Group, and we'd like to very warmly invite the chairman of the Unipower Group, and that's Mr. Janata Rajapaksa, a gentleman who's pioneered scientific agriculture in Sri Lanka and also agribusiness. So we'd like to invite Mr. Chairman, that's Mr. Janata Rajapaksa, Chairman of the Unipower Group, under which Enoviz Private Limited comes. And also we would like to invite Mr. Anuradha Rajapaksa, the Managing Director of Enoviz Private Limited. So gentlemen, can we invite you on stage? And this is the moment, the very special moment that you've been waiting for, which is just a few moments away, and that is the official launch of G-Data in Sri Lanka. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, that deserves a big round of applause. And we wish G-Data all the best in Sri Lanka. Thank you very much. We say a very big thank you to Chairman of the Unipower Group, Mr. Jayanta Rajapaksa, and the Managing Director of Enoviz, Mr. Anuradha Rajapaksa. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Right. So, with the official launch of G-Data in Sri Lanka, we are now going to spend a few moments in giving you the opportunity. Well, as was mentioned, we have our colleagues from the media, we have experts in ICT who are represented here, and we are now going to give you the opportunity of asking any related question that you want to ask or clarify, and this is the best moment. So, we have a special table lined up or ready, and to occupy the table, we would like to invite three people, namely Mr. Anuradha Rajapaksa, the Managing Director of Enoviz, and also we'll be inviting Mr. Roshan Milinda, he's the Senior Technical Executive of Enoviz, and also Mr. Janik Kure, the Business Development Executive. So, could you please welcome them to the head table? And now, we will give you, ladies and gentlemen, in the audience, the opportunity. Well, I said ladies and gentlemen, I can see only gentlemen. So gentlemen in the audience, it's your opportunity now to ask any related question. Whether information security ගැන කතා කරනකොට ලෝකයේ ප්‍රථම brand එක G-Data වසර 25ක් information security field එකේ ඉතාමත්ම වැදගත් milestones එහෙම නැත්නම් ජයග්‍රහණ ගොඩක් ලබාගෙන තිබෙනවා presentation to key පරිදි ඔබට අවශ්‍ය ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් මෙතුමන්ලා තුන් දෙනාගෙන් එක්කෙනෙක්ගෙන් ඔබට අදාළ ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් අහන්න පුළුවන්. සමහර ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැති වෙනකොට ඒ ක්‍රෙඩිට් එක යන්න ඕන presentations කරපුවා. මොකද සමහර අවස්ථාවල ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න නැති ගානට ඒ තරම් හොඳට presentations කරනවා. නමුත් presentation එක ඉතාම හොඳින් අනුරාධ මහත්මයා කරා. නමුත් ඔබට ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා. If you have any question, please feel free to ask any related question. Well, I wonder whether you want to find out how the dealer network will be established in taking this product to the end user.
Yeah, actually we were expecting that question. Yes, now we would be now the availability of the product. It will be available within the next week or so. Island-wide through the distributor network and also through our corporate partners, whom we have appointed already. So the product should be available to the end users in no time. System requirement
minimize.
System requirements are not that much. G-Data have make it the minimized level. So if you have 512 RAM and normal Pentium 4 upward processor, you can work it.
Actually, talking about performance ගැන කතා කරනවා නම් G-Data වල වැදගත්කම තමයි එකක් අර කලින් කියපු dual scan engines නා දැන් සමහර අය හිතනවා scan engine දෙකක් තියෙනකොට බර වැඩි කියලා. ඒ කියන්නේ system resources වැඩියෙන් පාවිච්චි කරනවා කියලා. ඒකේ අනිත් පැත්ත තමයි වෙන්නේ මොකද අර fingerprinting technology එක ඔය dual scan engine එකත් එක්ක තියෙන නිසා හොඳ files PC එකේ තියෙන හොඳ files white list කරලා තියාගෙන ඉන්නවා. ඒකින්ද හැමතිස්සෙම ඔක්කොම files හැමතිස්සෙම scan කරන්න උවමනාවක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක නිසා අලුතෙන් එන intruders අලුතෙන් එන threats වලට විතරයි scan engines එක react කරන්නේ. ඒකින්ද system resource utilization එක අනිත් ඒවාත් එක්ක ගත්තාම ගොඩාක් අඩුයි.
My question is, now if you take, there are so many IT, products. When it comes to devices, there are so many licenses, in the market. So, and very cheap. Price range well below 2,000. So, how the price you have catering the market when it comes to retail and also, to the end user?
Okay. Let me answer that with, specifically with regards to the consumer version. Now, actually in the international arena, G-data costs much more than most products in the market. But after negotiating so much with Germany, because this is a different segment of the world, we belong to a different segment of the world, the affordability is different in Sri Lanka. So we made sure that the price of G-data for consumer is highly competitive and is lesser than the top products that are available in Sri Lanka. So I can guarantee that, and I would tell you the MRP of the internet security would be at 1,650. That's the maximum retail price. So you get different products at higher prices. So after dealer discounts, it would come to even a lesser price.
Then second question, you all are providing 1 year service and also it's valid till 1 year. After the 1 year period, what will happen? If the customer wants to upgrade, or what will happen to the customer? So what will be the protection after the certain warranty periods or validity period?
That question applies to all security products, but G-data has an advantage. Now there are two things that we can do when the license expires. Either you can go to the retailer and purchase another license, or we will be providing a facility which is an online facility where once the product is expired, it will direct you to the link to pay online, possibly at a lesser cost for the renewal. So
it should be half price, it seems, because when it comes to renewal,
yes,
in the market, if you take the other products, so the renewal price has to be,
yes,
it's lesser than, at least half of the unit price what they have used to purchase initially. So comparing with the initial cost.
Well, according to my understanding, that is the case for the business grade, the corporate grade security software. But if it's consumer, I have not come across the renewal cost being lesser. But however, we will offer that through our online portal.
It will be available, right? That option will be available.
Yes, it will be.
Thanks.
Thank you. මිලගණන් පිළිබඳව ඔබතුමාගේ මම හිතන්නේ මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ උත්තරයක් ලැබුණා. Any other question?
If we want to install the corporate plans, the network, within the network, rather than install the individual machines, whether you have the corporate solution for the servers as well.
Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
Because if you want to introduce the corporate plans within the network, rather than install single machines in all the one client's basis, you have the server facility with the patches and
Yes.
you can update over there.
Yes, all the G-data, business solutions come with a centralized management console. So there is the option of installing. Now in G-data especially, there is no limitation to the number of servers that you can use because it's already included in the number of licenses. So once your server is installed, without going to the workstations physically, you can actually push the client version of the software, the workstation software, without going to the workstation physically. So you can push it. Usually in other competitor products, this needs to happen through what we call Active Directory. So in GData, you can do this without the use of Active Directory, where you can push the software installation to your through the network to your other employees. I hope that's what.
There's a product called Red Micro Worry Free. The same IMS is filtering there. If it is turned back to worry free, this particular server client system, it will scan the entire network. And whatever the activity
yes.
you can filter it there.
I understand.
Then you can, with the users and groups, you can filter over there. With the time frame, with these people, particular users can access the internet in a particular time frame. Suppose the corporate thing, the secretaries, sometimes they are busy with Facebooks and everything.
Yes.
Then you can filter that data separately and restrict these people. But the last time they can use it for the Facebook and other chattings.
Yeah. So that's a good question. So that is something that is covered in the GData Enterprise Solutions. One aspect this gentleman is inquiring is that whether now GData is capable of scanning your entire network and seeing what are the types of devices available within your network. And secondly, we are able to install the client version to all these devices and control what we call the policy management to control the content, what they can access. This is called access control, right?
Yeah. Let's say for some certain machines you have to block USB sticks and Facebook and all, so you can do it within the server.
Yeah, and then it's called policy management with access control. So you are able to block, let's say for secretaries, if you want them to not use a particular type of software. So if say some people play games or whatever, so you can block the type of software. So you can block the type of websites that you want to restrict. So actually it's a whole another topic which we didn't have time to cover in the presentation, which we have details of. There is a lot of money being wasted in businesses, people manipulating the work hours for non-work usage of the internet or the facilities being given to them. But we do not say that they are not entirely entitled for internet or certain facilities, but what we say is there should be control.
And one thing with GData is not like other antivirus card. Like if you want to restrict anything, it's only just a one click away. So you will have the whole control of your network. Yes.
Any other question? Well, I think most of us experience this as domestic users. Generally, we find there are products that really slows down your machine, and you feel, okay, just throw this virus guard, because I cannot work on this machine anymore because the virus guard has slowed things to that extent. Now, how about GData? Because you were talking about two search engines, so how does the speed affect?
Yeah, so elaborating my previous point, where now we use two scan engines, and it uses a whitelist of the good files in your computer, and they have a whitelist of the good websites that are available in the internet. So it need not redundantly scan unnecessarily.
Any other question? Alright, so looks like we are done. Thank you very much for your enthusiasm and interest shown in the newly launched product, GData. Well, we are done with the Q&A session, and we're now getting ready for another entertainment item. So maybe we will invite the three of you gentlemen to take your seats in the audience, otherwise you're going to miss the entertainment item. So we say thank you to our resource persons. Thank you, gentlemen. You may take your seats in the audience, and we'll be removing the dummy pack from stage as we set the stage once again for Samtala. So could you please put your hands together and welcome Samtala. Thank you once again to Santa. Thank you very much. Well, you may be a person in the audience who's manning or responsible for a huge network or computer system, or you may be just a person who owns a personal computer, but whatever category you belong to, I'm sure you get a sense of relief because you know that the Pioneer information security product is here in Sri Lanka, and you'll also feel very safe because this is a product that has introduced many firsts, and that will give you a comprehensive safety in your activities on your computer and your system. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is how Enoviz would like to say thank you to all of you, because we would have done all these presentations, entertainment, all that could have been done here, but if you are not present here this evening, well, this event wouldn't have been a successful event. So Enoviz would like to say thank you, and to officially say thank you and for the closing remarks, we'd like to invite the Senior Technical Executive of Enoviz. So we'd like to invite Mr. Roshan Milinda to deliver the vote of thanks.
Distinguished guests, especially ladies, member of the board, colleagues, and ladies and gentlemen. It's have been my privilege to say thank you to everyone who gathered here today. On behalf of Enoviz Private Limited, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all company heads, company representatives, dealers, and all the special invitees. Your presence is much appreciated, and we hope this initiation will open new avenues for us to work together for better information security standards. Mr. Jayanta Rajapaksa, Chairman of Unipower Group, thank you for your strength, and we are truly blessed to backed by you. Managing Director of Enoviz Private Limited, Mr. Anuradha Rajapaksa, and Director of Finance, Mrs. Rukshini Rajapaksa, let me extend my heartiest thank you and well wishes for this graceful occasion. And especially ladies from media, thank you for joining us with sharing this new collaboration and helping us to spread the word of official launch of G-Data. A special thank you to Mr. Nishanka Muthanayaka for SLBC for all your support, which we simply couldn't do without. Everyone at Cool Tempo, thank you for lighting and sound to make this evening perfect. And heartfelt thanks to you, Hotel Galadari, Mrs. Chamindra, Mr. Eranga, and team for extending your fullest cooperation for this event. And the performance of the evening, Santa, thank you for keeping everyone entertained. And Mr. Clifford, thank you for being with us to living up and ceremony. And we have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues at Enoviz. And thank you for your enormous cooperation. Last but certainly not the least, I also extended my big thanks to Mr. Bjorn Bakiraki, Senior Manager for G-Data in Southeast Asia and G-Data Germany, for making this possible and placing confidence in us to carry G-Data in new heights in Sri Lanka and the Maldives. Ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude the thanking each and every one of you once again, and for being with us in this evening. We hope this is a start of great beginnings and lasting relationships. Have a wonderful year. Thank you.
A great beginning and definitely a lasting relationship. Thank you very much to Mr. Roshan Milinda, Senior Technical Executive of Enoviz. So I think during Mr. Milinda's speech you'd have heard the sounds of the glasses and the aroma of nice food, and that is in fact very specially for you. So we'll be inviting you to this side, and that's the area where you can enjoy a time of fellowship and cocktails. So thank you once again, and can we invite all of you for a time of fellowship and the cocktails. So we'd like to wish you a great evening, Aibowan, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.